Okay, so guys, welcome back. So we'll be continuing from where we left off. What we have done is we have covered the part of voiceovers and created a character which we need to animate using Illustrator. And we imported that entire file that we created on Illustrator to Character Animator. We rigged the file, we rigged the character, then we added some motion, some behaviors, we recorded it with hand gestures, head movements, eyebrows, breathe, and all these, especially the walk cycles. And we have covered the part with character animator and exported the file as PNG sequence and wave file, right? And this file will be now saved in your location wherever you want to save, create a better hierarchy so that it does not get lost in your data. So in today's session, what we'll be covering is we'll import this PNG sequence into your After Effects and add effects, text, background, and all that. Majorly, all the post-production stages will be covered in this video. So let's quickly jump into it. Let me share my screen. So as you open the After Effects, you can see that this will be the default or the first window that opens up. In case you have worked on any other projects on After Effects, it will show you the latest projects that you have worked on. So in this case, let me just start fresh. So what you will do is go to Files and create a new project, right? And now it will ask for the location as well as the name. No, it did not. So in this case, what you have is an empty project. So as soon as you start adding elements to it and save your progress, then they will ask for the location and the name of the project that you need to give it. So let's start off with, first of all, importing the export from Character Animator, right? So this was the folder that had all the images, actually all the frames that was required. So what you need to do is, here you can see in the background I have After Effects open, and this is the folder which has all the PNG sequences, right? So I'll just drag it into this folder or this particular window, and as you can see it has been imported, and you can see the preview on the panel here, right? So now again, this is further divided. The screen, if you observe, is divided into multiple objects, so multiple paths. So this is your toolbar, and now you have some tools that are actually not highlighted here because they are deactivated because you do not have any element in your composition panel that is here. So yeah, this portion that was a render queue, and now you are in compositions. So in case, and obviously you need to add some elements to your composition, otherwise there will be no elements in your video. So in that case, what you need to do is just drag the components from your project panel down to the composition, right? So as you can observe, as soon as I dragged in the scene PNG sequence, there is a new composition that is created in your projects panel, right? And here is your composition panel. Now you can see that while you play this, all the animation that you created on Character Animator is visible, right? So in case you want to resize it, what you can do is just click on Z for zoom or magnifier, click on Alt to zoom out, and H to hand. So now you can see all the tools are activated, right? So yes, and now again, some zooming out can be done. Yes. Now what you need to do is, if you can see, the character is much smaller than the window that is available to you. So you can just increase the size. Just click on the selection tool that you have here. These tools that you use here, that is in After Effects, is somewhat similar to what you have used in Character Animator and Illustrator and Photoshop as well, because all these are of these softwares that you use are from Adobe, so they use a similar strategy or similar structure for your software so that it's easier to jump on from one to another, right? So what I can do is I'll just drag it out. So if you can see in this case, what is happening is it's widening my PNG, right? So what I need to do is actually click on Shift while I'm doing this so that it increases the size or the scale in fixed proportions, right? So now it's misplaced. So I'll place it here. So while recording in Character Animator, you might have observed that I added the walk as well, right? So in that case, the character was moving towards his left. Yes, the animation is character moving towards the left, but because the frame is fixed, now the character is not moving. So we'll work on that as well. So meanwhile, another thing that you need to understand is all of your animation will be created based on the script that you're working on, right? So if you can see, the voiceover was created or pulled out from this script that I have. This was the content that was shared to me. And using this content, what all needs to be said out loud is recorded in your voiceover, and the remaining part, that is the last section, if you observe, was not included in the voiceover. So these information that are not in the voiceover but needs to be presented in a way, so you can always use text to share these details and all. Okay, so we'll move on with After Effects, working on the script that we have, also the voiceover that we have, so that the timing of the elements that are kicking in needs to be perfect. So we'll also work in with some preset transitions and the transitions transforms that are available for each of these elements that we'll be adding in. Another thing that I've done here is I have the resources available, that is all the pictures and all. So for that, before I start off with actually explaining the Adobe After Effect, I will just share a few links where you can find good resources, good actually uh, free resources. So FreePick is one of them. So FreePick allows you to actually search with any keywords, let's say doctor, and you will find vector images. You can actually filter these. Let's just let the page just load and I'll show you. Yes. So you search for doctor and it will give you multiple results. So you can see some images, some vector images, some abstract images, right? So in this case, what you can do is you can filter out what you actually need. I need free content, not premium, because I won't be paying for these. Again, yeah, free content and vectors I need, or icons. Both of them can work for me, but not photos, not PSD files, because PSD files, again, if I use them, there is a a good chance that they might get pixelated while I am rendering the video. So always prefer vector images. So now you can see you have these images that are displayed to you, a lot of them actually, and you can select any one of them, any one you like that goes in with the art that you're trying to use in your animations and your video. Open this up, click on download, click on free download, and then shortly it will ask for the location where you want to save this. So let me just click on here, resources, and let me just save it here. So you can see it says Happy Doctor with clipboard. That is a file name. So let me just save it. And again, if you observe that the file type or the format is actually .winrar, right? So I'll just save it. And as soon as I save it, I'll open this up. And if I extract this, extract to Happy Doctor with clipboard, right? I hope this is not a problem for you. So here is my extracted file. So if you observe, there is a AI file that is available and a JPG file, right? So JPG file is mostly used to find what this particular AI file is. So both of these images will be same. So it's just a preview thing, the JPG file. The real thing that you need to be concerned about is the AI file. So you can open up the AI files, give some time to open up. And now when you actually open up the AI file, there might be elements in an art that you do not need, right? You can just remove those and save them. Let the illustrator open up. so that I don't talk out of context. Yeah. So now you can see on your screens that here is the image or the vector image actually that we downloaded. And now there are some elements that I do not need in my vector image when I'm putting it in the video actually, right? So let's say I do not want the background because I want the background to be transparent. So in that case, what I can do is select the background, delete that layer. Okay. Now again, you can see there is this text designed by Freepik, and that also does not need to be there when I'm exporting it to my actually using it in my video. So I'll delete that as well. And yes, so basically I have selected what I want in this particular AI file that I have, and I'll just save it, right? Click on Control S to save the changes. Okay. And now these changes will be made in this file, that is 280286, this file, particular file. And now if you want to use this in the video, what you can do is simply drag it in the project panel and it will be imported here, right? So, and it is perfectly showing you, giving you a preview of what this file is all about if you click on it, right? So whatever file you click on in your project panel, it will show you exactly what it holds. So let's, for example, say I want to use it in my composition. I'll drag it in. And if you observe that this panel on the right hand side, it's from 00 seconds and goes on till 50 seconds, right? So somewhat the length of the video that I'm presuming will be animated. And now if I want to reduce, I want that this image or any particular element in this case need not stay on the screen after 5 seconds, let's say, right? So what I can do is if you observe, as soon as you go at the brink of this, at the end of this timeline, I can say, right? So timeline. So you will see that it's a double-sided arrow. What this means is that you can adjust the length of this particular element as to how long it should be displayed on the screen and at what duration, to be precise, right? So let me say this particular element, that is a doctor character that is available on my screen, sorry, needs to be just there for 5 seconds. Yeah. So what I've done is I've just dragged in the timeline and made it shrink to 5 seconds. As soon as the 5 seconds is over, this will be no more visible on the screen or the composition, right? So let's say, okay, I've done this, but now it looks a bit abrupt, right? So it is there and all of a sudden it's invisible. It's not there. So for a good animation, what you need to do is you need to add transitions to each of these elements. And if you're planning to change the scenes as well, you need to add transitions to it, right? How can it be done? So first of all, what you need to do is another thing. This is actually a tip, not necessarily how you plan on implementing a transition. So in case you want to make a transition that is from this character being visible to this character being not there on the composition, right? So what you can do is from here, that is the time. Now, if you can see here, there are some pointers showing and a slider. This actually means that you can actually expand how you can view the intervals. So this is your timeline. Now, if you observe closely, you have 0 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. So every marker that is available here is in 5 second interval. So you can decrease this interval by just zooming it in, right? So now I can see 1 second, 2 second. And now if you observe, it is 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F, and so on. So what this means is for the 0th second, it will be the first frame, the second frame, third frame, and so on. And if you observe closely, we have approximately how many? We have, yes, 20 frames per second. So there might be some problems also because as we exported from, there is another thing that you need to keep in mind here. If you are exporting a 25 FPS animation from character animator and here it is treating it as 20 FPS, there will be some mismatch when you combine the audio and the video, right? So in such cases, what you can do is go to scenes. I'm not necessarily saying that this is the case here, but yes, obviously I exported 25 FPS and here it is treating it as 20 FPS. So in that case, what you need to do is the composition in the project panel, go to the scenes, not the composition, but the PNG sequence that you have imported. Right click on it and just go to interpret footage. And in that, go to main. And now you can see there is an option here, assume this frame rate, right? So here it says 20 FPS. That is why it will be somewhat different from what the audio will be. It might speed up the animation. So in that case, what you need to do is just correct it, make it 25 FPS as you have exported it from character animator. And now when you are importing it to the After Effects, you just recalibrate it to 25 again. Okay. Then you can click on OK. So now this will be perfect for you to animate. Let me just import the voiceover as well. So while you're working on After Effects, now you no longer need the old unedited audio because now you have completed the process of lip sync, right? So now you can work on enhanced voice as well. So that you actually know what the voiceover is going on so that you can actually add or remove elements and make transitions in your scene. Okay. So that is the next step. We'll go back to the folder tutorials and now from the voiceover wave file, I'll just take the voiceover. I hope this is the edited one. I'll drag it in the project panel. And now once it is imported to your After Effects, you can drag it down and place it in your composition panel. So now if you play, let me just stop my screen and share my audio as well. So yes. So let me just play it. If it's fitting perfectly, then we have nothing to worry about and we can go on to adding elements and text and transitions. Okay, so another thing, this is an additional information. If there is any problem with playback audio, right? So in this case, this is not giving me any output of audio. So what I can do is you need to go to edit and depending on your system, obviously, if you're working on Windows, this is always available on your edit. It might vary with Mac operating system. Okay, so in edit, you can go to preferences and in audio hardware, now a pop-up, actually a dialog box will show up. So the output is not actually set to the default. It is actually set to headphones that I'm not actually connecting right now. So I'll get back to speakers and yes. So I'll click on OK. So the changes have been made. So let's now see if
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike.
okay. So now if you see that the audio is not good, so we'll delete this or let's actually check what the problem is. Okay, again, one thing, if you remove anything from your project panel, it will be automatically removed from the composition. Okay, because it will no longer, the attachment will no longer be available for your project to access. So in case if you remove anything from project panel, you can undo your action by Control Z, and otherwise your changes will be made to the composition as well. So in this case, I want to remove this, so I'll just remove it and let me import this. Yeah, so it has been imported. Let's see if this sounds good.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
Yeah. So there's a problem with the playback. Now let me check what the problem is. So again, interpret footage, main. one. Everything looks fine here. Nothing to be edited. Okay.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
Let me activate my character so that I know if it's working in sync or not. And let me hide this element for now. Yes.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies.
Okay. So the audio and the video that we have exported from the character animator are in perfect sync. So what we need to do is now you have the script with you, right? And if you go through each of these lines, or you can refer to the audio as well, if it's understandable. What you can do is you can again curate the content that you want to display. If you display the entire script that is going on, there is no point of adding the voiceover, right? Because you're already speaking it out loud. So in such cases, what you can do is you can curate what information needs to be highlighted and put across by displaying that detail on your screen, right? So what you can do is here I have some images. Let me just delete this because this will no longer be needed. I have my resources that I have downloaded from Freepik and other websites. There is again Flat Icon and all the Shutter, Shutterstock, and all these sites that offer you vector images and vector files so that you can work on your project without actually wasting your time or investing your time in actually designing the icons and things that are needed for your video. You can actually work or use that time to animate other stuff in your video and make it more presentable, right? So
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass
yeah,
media
so
alike,
here there are two things that the character or the voiceover is speaking about: venture capital and pitch room, venture capital pitch rooms and mass media, right? So these are the cues. So when you're talking about venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, so in this case, it's better already your voice is clear. So what you need to do is you need to put a visual representation to it so that your viewer understands this, right? The whole point of using a video is to put the information or the knowledge that you know or any communication that you want to make visually and graphically, right? So that it's more interesting and easy to understand. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll go back to my resources. Again, it's totally your choice, but a better habit to make your folders in a good hierarchy so that you, even if you get back to your project 5 or 6 months later, you know exactly what each of these folders are and where your resources will be, right? So let's quickly jump into it. So business, let me just zoom in, see what the content is, not this one. Let's see. One. Yeah, so this, yeah. So this is the this is the file of, this is the AI file that I want to use here. So I'll drag it in. Another thing I can use. So again, if you import any image or any AI image to be particular, they have some options available. So in footage, what happens is this entire thing will be merged into one layer. The entire AI file will be merged into one layer, and you can animate it as a whole, right? But in case you need to animate different layers in your AI file separately in After Effects, what you can do is just go to composition, and now you can select these layers and layer size and click on OK. For now, what I'll do is I'll just click on footage and click on merged. Another option that you have with footage is you can choose layers. For example, if you have a group of actually all the icons that you want to use, let's say you have all the icons for social media that you need to add in contact details, right? So what you can do is actually choose a layer from all of these and specifically import only those layers. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll just, yeah, I'll separate it as composition and layer size, not document size. Here, footage dimension will be always layer size and click on OK. So once I have imported the file, you can see that this layer, that AI file is present in this in two forms. First is the folder form, second is the composition form. The composition file that is present in your project panel, you can just drag and drop it. Do not use the folder. So now you can see that I have this particular vector image visible on my screen. Using the selection tool and the anchors that are available on the corners, you can resize it, scale it, right? Let me just place it here casually. And now, if you need to animate each of these individually, what you can do is double click on this. And now this composition will be further broken down into layers that you have used. So if you click on these layers, you can see what they are actually containing, what the content of these layers are. And now you can add some effects. Okay, so let's just move on to effects. And throughout the video, we'll be talking about some presets and some transforms that we'll be using to give it an animated look. Okay, so there are some presets available on After Effects. On your right hand side, if you see, there are some panels here. So info, preview, effects and presets, motion sketch, wiggler, smooth, align, audio, paragraph, character, and all these, right? So we use all of them in due time. So right now, what I need to do is I need to add some transition to my meeting, right? If you can see in your composition panel, you have meetings here. So for that, if you click on effects and presets, right, it will expand and show you all the presets that is available for any particular element that you want to animate, right? So these are available from Photoshop. What this actually does is it actually saves your time, right? So instead of going through three transitions, transforms, actually making it small inside, decrease the scale, decrease the opacity, and doing these individual chores separately, this might take some time. So instead of doing that, what you can do is you can simply use the effect and preset panel, and while you expand these, right? So let me just expand one of them. And let's say this is an image and I want to add some effect. Let's say these are all, first of all, you need to explore them to understand, right? I cannot cover each of them because it's a long list. So every time you want to put in a transition, you look at what the environment and the entire frame is holding, and then you add in the transition according to what fits best. Okay, so let's say you used a transition and that did not work. What you can do is simply undo that, select a new, try it on the text. If it looks good, you can use it. Otherwise, you can again go for another one, right? So most of the transitions that are available will be explained, are self-explanatory by if you see the names that are available here. So let's say mood lightning or whatever. So let's actually use some transitions to see what they do. Okay, so let me say dissolve blobs. Okay, so if I drag, if you observe, what I did is clicked on it, dragged it here to the panel, or actually the timeline of the meeting layer, and I'll drop it here. So if I play this, let's see what this does is, okay. So this shows you the image in blobs. So it appears in blobs and so on. So let's add some other fits. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is while you're dragging and dropping these effects on your layers, what will happen is you need to take care of the positioning of the timing also. Okay. So this little tool that shows you the current position or the current frame this will be considered the starting point of the effect. So let's say if I have this, that is 2 seconds as my starting point, and I'll add some transition, let's say concentric pal to my buzz, what will happen is it will start this effect from this point, that is from 2 second time. Okay, so let's see what this does to my image, right? So this looks good. And now at 4 seconds, let me just take 2 second interval at every transition that is happening. Now I'll do actually ripple, right? So let me just put something more random, right? Boxes, random boxes to put mass media. Okay, I'll add that to mass media at 4 seconds. So if you can see, let me just zoom into the preview as well so that it's more visible to you. So let me just play what I did. Okay. So this is not looking good, obviously, for the media. So I'll undo that and I'll choose something else. Let's say transform, not transform, text is not applicable. If you use text animations, it might work in most cases, but it might not work in most cases because you're working with images. And if you put the text transitions to your images, it won't match, right? So let's use transitions, it's better. So let's use, let's say, the sand, okay, for the media, mass media actually. So we started off at 4 seconds, we are dragging and dropping it. Let's see what effect it gives. It gives you sand grain kind of thing and it appears on the screen. And before mass media, what I need to do is before 2 and 4 seconds, at approximately 3 seconds, I'll add some transition to bulbs or ideas actually. So let's say this is my transitions and let me select this for now. Does not make much difference. So let me just see what this does. Looks fine, not good. So let me undo that and use, what can I do? We have other transitions as well. Wipes, let's try wipes. Iris cross, yes. See that. Yeah, this looks a bit better. Not perfect, but yeah, works. So in this case, what you can see is before this bulb fills in, there is an outline if you can observe. Let me just increase the size, yes. So before my transition actually starts, there is this outline that is occurring. So in such cases, what you can do is at the start of this particular transition, just zoom in a bit. Now you can see these arrows. Now, if you expand these, what you can do is you see that the transition starts at this point, the circle, these dots. Okay. So now dots cannot be edited or they cannot be interacted with. So interaction can be done only with diamonds. So let's expand and see where this particular ends. So I expanded effects, now iris, and now I can see this particular diamond shape. And this is split from the middle. And this, what actually this means is this will be particularly starting from here. So let me just place this particular arrow here and let me add a transition. So this will be something new for you. You need to go to transform, opacity, and click on this timer. So what this will do is opacity will be checked here. That will be 100% here. And before this, let me zoom in a bit so that it's just a bit before this actually gets 100%. So somewhere here, what I'll do is I'll just expand it some more so that, yeah, this is fine. So what I'll do is I'll click on here, this diamond sign, so that there is another token that is added here and the opacity will be 0 in this case. I'll just drag it out to 0. Okay. And if you observe, now that bulb outline is no longer a issue. So this looks somewhat good. So this particular software, After Effects, is not like Character Animator. In Character Animator, the save is auto save, right? But in here, what you need to do is you need to click on Control S as you did in After Effects as well. So now it is asking for the file name and the location. So the location will be tutorials, and now I will save it as the TUT and After Effects. So AE. Okay. So this will be the project name or the file name, and I'll just click on save. And now all the changes that I made here in this particular composition have been saved. So if you observe, while I skipped from the previous composition to the new composition, there were some changes that were made here in this composition panel. So this is a new composition that is within another composition, right? So if you observe the video, let's just play it with the audio and see.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
Okay, so I guess this transition for mass media needs to be a bit earlier.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media.
Mass media. So at this stage, if you observe, I have placed this timeline at a particular place, right? And if I switch my compositions, even then it will stay at that particular position. So what I need to do is I need to drag these effects. Okay, these are for ideas. What I need to do is I need to change it for mass media. So I will expand effects and now block dissolve, and now I can see these diamonds. So these are interactable now. I'll just drag it out and place the last one here so that it is visible at this point when we are actually, the voiceover is actually talking about the mass media. So let's see what this looks like.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
Around health tech. So now health tech needs to be emphasized because that is the center of the topic that we'll be talking about in our video. So health tech is another text that we need to add. So if you need to add text or elements, what you need to do is right click here, go to new and text. Again, I'll repeat this. Go somewhere here, click on right click, go to new text. Okay, so as soon as you do that, you'll see a new text layer that is visible here. So if you double click on it, you have a red cursor that is slightly visible here. So now you can add text. So what I need to add is health tech, right? This is the text that I need to add. I'll select that, I'll drag it a bit higher. So how do I drag it? Using the selection tool. Select it, pull it a bit higher. Again, if you see, if you think that it's not perfectly aligned, what you can do is go to align on your right hand side, properties, go to align. Now you have some alignments that are available with you, right? And reference also is available. So in this case, your reference will be your composition, and you need to align it center, right? Horizontally at the center. So in this case, what you can do is click on this align horizontally at the center. Now this will be at the perfect center. And height needs to be higher and not at the center. So I'm not using this tool, right? Similarly, for this composition that we have added, this needs to be in the center, but not actually in the center because we have used the character as well. So it can be a bit displaced. So your composition or your frame or your scene again needs to find its center based on the elements that are present here. So character is also part of this particular composition or scene, whatever you want to call it. And if you're talking about this character referring, or actually in this particular video, what is happening is this character is talking about whatever is going through the presentation of the video, right? So in this case, if you put it in the perfect center and if your character is overlapping it, then that is a problem. Otherwise, what you can do is you can just
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
Now, again, if you observe that the health tech, the term health tech comes on later, but the text is starting off very soon. So I need to adjust at what time this needs to be displayed. So what I can do is I can just, again, move to the edge, drag it out to the perfect time where it needs to be displayed. So let us check the timing if it's good or not.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
A bit late, so I'll drag it again. So what we are doing is we are actually reducing when we are pulling it in. right? So in case you do not want to pull it in, you do not want to reduce the time, just adjust here and there. What you can do is click on this timeline and drag it in, right? So in this case, what will happen is the length will not be changed. It will remain the constant, but the position might change, right? So let's see what this.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India,
So this looks a bit perfect. What we can do is, yeah, again, so health tech, if you observe, comes in abruptly,
growing buzz around health tech.
right? So we can add transition to this as well. For this, what you need to do is go to presets, right? Again, the presets that you'll be using. These are very helpful. Actually, this helps you out to actually reduce your post-production time that you'll be taking. So in this case, presets, you have text available. So what you can do is you can, let's say you need to animate it in, right? So animate in means that it will come in your scene. So what you can do is, let's say decoder fade in. So let's see what this does. Before that, I need to adjust my timeline as well. So yeah, perfect. Just drag it in, place it there. Let's see how it looks.
Around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised.
So this looks attractive, but it's a bit slow according to the speed of the transcript. So I'll undo that change and let me put something else. Let's say raining characters, a bit fun, I guess.
Around health tech. In India alone, health tech.
Yes. So let's say if decoder fade in, this is what I wanted to use, right? Let me just drag in. This is what I wanted to use. So let's.
Around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over.
So this is very, very slow according to what I want. So what I can do is I'll just expand on it. And now I can see that there are two dots, right? So these dots actually represent the transitions that are presets that we have used. So what I can do is I'll just expand this. Again, if you observe, these are in animator. Animator will be expanded. Now range selector. Now you can observe these particular diamonds. Actually, these are anchors as to when this will end, right? So let's say.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
So I want health tech to start off a bit earlier and end by this time, right? A complete writing in the text at this time. So I can just drag in this to the place, the ending point, and now let's see if this works fine or not.
There is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech
looks much better. So again, if you're using some complex animation, right? So it's always better that you invest some time or give it some time so that the actual effect of that animation is spread, right? The consumer actually has the time to consume that animation, to feel that animation, right? Instead of actually rushing through the animation. But in this case, it's working fine. It gives you a build up, right? So we'll just minimize all of these changes and now let's see.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million into.
Okay, so now we are talking about in India alone. So at this stage, you observe that the scene needs to be changed. So what I can do is I'll just health tech needs to be. This is actually the topic for the entire video. So let me just keep it as it is, and scene will be yes throughout the video, and I'll just reduce this composition time. Right. So composition time will be somewhere here. So this is the entirety of the composition as to how long this should be.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech.
So in India alone, so this in India alone, now I am planning to add a map of India so that it represents India somewhat, right? So let me just go back to my resources. Now I have, I guess, map of India with tricolor. Yes, I'll just drag that in. So if you observe now, this is something else. This is not a project panel. This is actually the composition that we used. So I'll just close this and get back to the project. Open my resources location, just drag this in. right? So now if you observe, you have the map of India in the preview, and I'll just drag it in here. And I want to use it starting from this point where my composition of the meeting ends, right? So let's
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018.
So this is the complete scene. This is the complete second scene that we need to do. So we'll reduce the time till here. And what we can do is we can add some transition so that this looks good when the map comes in. So what I can do is minimize, not text actually. So we'll reduce that transitions, movements, yes. Let's see if this looks good.
In India alone, health tech startups.
Yes, looks fine, I guess. But not a good idea to keep the flag upside down, right? So do not use this. Can use something else. Let's say spiral. See what that does.
In India alone, health tech startups.
Yeah, okay. So now you need to increase the size again. You have the selection tool selected, drag it out, select, click on shift so that it's in perfect ratio. Drag it down. Now again, you need to take care of the colors that you're using, which can again, the color theme that you want to use can be again selected from here. That is go to, let me share a link with you, color CC. So this is the link that is available. That is by Adobe, right? So this actually helps you to find color themes, right? Similar colors and themes that will work with each other. So this is a good guide if you want to add elements, right? So you can actually use these. Otherwise, you can go to explore and type in any keyword. Let's say cash, right? So cash, and so these are some uh, colors that are relevant or related to the keyword cache and so on. So you can select on anything, let's say healthcare itself, health tech actually, health tech. And let's see what it shows. Health TH. Yes. If it has any results, yes. So in this case, you can see some blues. Blues are always good to view. It gives you a comfortable, caring nature feeling, nurturing feeling, right? So it's good to use bright, brilliant colors so that it's more approachable and really actually appealing, right? So let's get back to what we were doing. Let's see what the animation does. Yes.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500
So
million.
in this case, if you see, it's talking about some money, right? So what I've done is instead of actually animating each of these elements, if you find some good animations online, right, GIFs particularly, you can just import them. So in this case, what I've done is I have some GIF files. So this was the actual zip file that was downloaded, and I wanted to remove the background. Otherwise, it will be abrupt. The background and this will be abrupt. So this is what the converted file is, and how can you do that? How can you remove background from the GIFs, right? So again, there is another website that you can go to. Just Google remove background from GIF online. Okay, so this is an online site where you can just upload your GIFs, go to effects. Now it's asking for a file to be uploaded, choose file, select the file basically. So I'll get back to video content, tutorials. I have resources, let's see GIF, this is the file, open, right? And upload. So now once it has been uploaded, what you need to do is now let me explain this website also. This is very important. Yeah. So in this case, you can see the entire background is one single color, right? And you have option here, replace color with transparency. So you can choose any of the colors which will be replaced with transparency basically. So in this case, you have custom hex. So you actually do not know the hex code of this color. What you can do is you can open up a new link. Mm, let's say this is a link color pixel color picker actually. Upload your image. Let's say I'll upload the GIF file, and yes, upload the GIF file, send image. It might take some time to upload, or you can just use After Effects color picker, select the color, particular color, and copy the color code and paste it down here. So let me just demonstrate that for you so that it won't be a problem. So once you have uploaded, what you can do is you can see this plus sign. Just click on anywhere where you have the color that you want to remove. So I clicked on this. So it is giving me this hex code for the particular color 9AE3F2. I'll copy this and paste it here. Custom colors. Paste the entire code here and apply selected. So what this will do is replace that particular color with transparency. Once I've clicked on apply selected, it is processing the image. And now it is still showing me the color that I want. Okay, so I guess the color code is still a bit off from what I want. So let's try some other samples here. It is giving you the same code, copy, paste, apply selected. Okay, so it's not working right now, but it will work in most cases. So there might be some files that GIF files that not might work with this website. Otherwise, it's fine. But I have this particular file that I've separated, actually removed the background from this using the same website. So you can do the same as well. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll add this GIF to After Effects to show some animation for the money or cash that we're talking about here. So I'll just select this, drag it in, not actually here. I need to close this particular composition, get back to this project span, and I'll just drag it in. As simple as that. Yes, it has been imported. So if you see this is visible here you have transparent background. What you can do is you can just simply drag it down here. And now you can see this, everything that you drag starts its timing from 0 seconds. Now, if you want it somewhere here, that is where my particular current time indicator is. What I can do is just drag it like I told you. Now let's see how it looks.
In India alone,
Health tech startups raised over 500. So in this case, what is happening is another thing. If your preview, that is pre-render, is not working fine, you can actually reduce the quality of pre-render so that it gets loaded quickly, so that you can work quickly. Okay, if your computer is working fine with good speed, you can always keep it at full so that you can make more precise decisions. And if you observe that this map needs to be behind the cache animation that I want. So what I can do is I'll click on this layer and just drag it a bit higher above actually the layer of the map. So what this does is it will show it above the layer in front actually, right? So let's see if this animation.
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million
So
in
now
2000.
there is this unnecessary part of the cache that is not actually matching the content. That is, the cache is falling down. That part I do not need. I want it to start falling down from the top, right? So that it gets placed. So what I can do is I'll just go here. I'll just reduce the time. I'll make this the starting point. So let's see how this looks.
Health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018.
Right. So this looks somewhat fine. Now another thing. while I was telling you about some points that needs to be emphasized. So again, this amount is appealing, right? So these are some stats that needs to be presented. So stats and facts are always good to be presented in a text format so that it's evident that we have said what it is. So now what we'll do is we'll add another text layer, let's say new and text. Now the content for this will be dollar sign and 500 million. And what I'll do is go to selection, drag it a bit lower so that it's visible somewhere here. Yes. And now if you observe my 500 million is somewhere here. So what I need to do is again, it's your comfort, how you plan on working on your project. You can arrange this sequentially so that you have the content of the same scene one after the other so that if you need to make any changes relative to each other, you do not have to scroll through the entire time, this composition elements. You can just move in one or two elements higher or lower, right? So let me just do that. Let me just ensure that 500 starts at this point. Right? So 500 million. This is where the cash flows in. So this is where my amount will be displayed and it will end at this point. So I'll drag it in from the end as well. Right? If you keep the entire thing, other thing that you can do is you can keep the entire thing. And at this point, what you can do is go to transform, again, do the opacity thing. After this point, just zoom it in Supermax, one frame data. What you will do is, again, click on this diamond, make the opacity minimum 0%. So what will actually happen?
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted.
If you can see, this looks good, right? And now, yeah. So let's say we have completed this part. And I'm removing this part because this is not efficient because the entire rendering for this part and that does not include the text 500 million also needs to keep in mind that there is this element, but it is invisible for now. So to reduce the complexity of this design or make it more efficient, we'll just reduce the timeline or the lifespan of this particular element here. So we have 500 fixed, done.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted.
Care is getting smarter and better targeted. So for this, let me say, I want to display some images. So I have, again, some resources that is available with me. So where is it? Let me just check it. Again, I have not particularly labeled them because it might take some time. And while you're working on a project, you almost get an idea of what is in a particular folder. But it's always a good habit to secure your entire project and label it smartly. So here I have smarted and better targeted. So these are the two AI files that I'll be using in this particular scene. So I'll just drag it in. It is importing, might take some time. Yes, done. Drag it down here in your composition. Now again, the timing starts from here. So we'll put it here.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted.
Two actually AI files, and they are placed one over the other. So you can select one of them, drag it out, separate them actually, and target it a bit. Okay. So again, you want to align it vertically actually. So what do you need to do? Get back to align. Here we have align and here at the center, not the seam. I'll undo that and select the particular layer. Click on align at center. Right. So again, this might vary with the. So if I'm taking the health as center, it needs to be somewhere here. Okay, so that it's good and perfect. So I might be using some other animation here. What I'll do is I'll place it here and place, okay, I'll do that. I'll also place this here. So what I need to do is,
in 2018.
when it says
CARE is getting
smarter,
smart.
what I need to do is I need to show the position of this particular thing to be somewhere here. So what I'll do is click on position. At this particular point, I want its position to be here, right? And the initial position, that is here, it will be again, so this is somewhere here. At this point, it is not actually visible, so I need to drag it in a bit. So let's see here. Yeah, so in this case, at this point, what I need to do is the element should change its position from here to here. So the animation would somewhat look like
Health tech. In India alone, health tech
startups raised
over 500 million in 2018. CARE is getting smarter and better targeted.
what I can do is I'll start the initial position from here. So it's always a reference to other elements that you need to work. So again, in transform position, and at this point,
smarter and better.
as soon as it's talking about it, it needs to be in the scene, right? So I'll click on that position and place it somewhere here, let's say, roughly. And now let's see the entire thing that
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media
alike.
There is a growing buzz around health.
in India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. CARE is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies.
okay, so what we have done is we have actually used slide in by not actually using the effects and by using the transform option that is available. So you can similarly do these changes, that is position, scale, rotation, and opacity as well. So at this stage, what I want to do is before these things kick in, to transform from rupees, that is this point to this point, I need to add in a slide. So a curtain basically. So what I can do is I'll go to new solid and let me just give it some color. Let's say purplish. Yes. Let's say this color. For now, we are not very conscious about the color right now because the concepts are more important. And colors can always be edited. For example, if you're working on some concept in your head and that's the color that you want to give the video background to, right? So, but the client doesn't like it. So in that case, you have to change the color anyway. So it's always better to go with some themes that are actually helping you out to check if the colors complement each other. So I'll put that slide in here. Okay, so if you observe, it is somewhere here, or I do not want it here. I want it a bit above smarter. So drag it up higher. Reduce the time started from this point, right? And at this stage, if you observe, what I need to do is, let me just play this. This is working. Okay, so again, in the footage or actually the scene, what do you need? This was selected to layer smarter.ai, right? That is because I double clicked on it. So get back to compositions, and it's a bit bright. So let me just remove that and add a new solid color, solid, and let me just bit lighter pastel color, right? So that it does not pinch your eye. Okay, this looks good. Let's try it. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to make this slide in. Okay, so from the left to the right, what I'll do is I'll add transition, again the position one, And along with position, I'll also use opacity. Okay, for explanatory purposes. Otherwise, it is just fine that it slides. Okay. So in this case, I'll start my position from here. So at this stage, let's just zoom in a bit so that we can see where the starting point is. Yes, perfect. So at this point, I'll mark the position and the opacity, or actually delete them and mark it somewhere here. And now my position at this stage. At this stage, I want it completely in, right? So I'll undo what I did, select on diamonds. Yes, both of them are selected, so it will all start together. So right now, to deselect, go to position. At this stage, I want it. Yes, at this stage, I want this particular slide out of my frame. And now it will slide in. So let's just check. Okay. And again, for opacity, this will be 0 and 0 to 100. Okay. So let me just minimize this. Let's see what we have done.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter
That's
and
the
better
transition.
targeted.
So these two layers that we added earlier is hidden beneath this layer. So I'll just drag it above it. And let's see how this looks.
Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies.
At this point, what needs to be done is
join Hackveda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence.
So at this point, my character starts to move. So what I can do is at the scene layer, I'll click on transform position at this stage. And as soon as this character stops walking, let me just remove this. Right, and let me just explain this. At this stage, the character has to reach its destination, and that I have decided to be somewhere here. Okay, so let me zoom out. Let's see if this looks good.
Each of these new age technologies. Join Hackveda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, so the walk is looking fine. It looks like he is actually walking and traveling some distance, right? Okay, so we have done that as well. And now what we can do is, now if you observe, the beginning of the video does not have a background. Now we have already talked about how to add solid layers, right? Now let's talk about how to add moving animated or actually videos at the background, right? So that it looks a bit more attractive, right? So what we can do is, I have some videos here. Before that, I will tell you, let me give you the website sources from where you can get these background videos. What you need to is, what you need to Google is background videos for background videos. And now you will observe there are some websites that will be available. Some might be paid and premium, but otherwise most of them will be free. So here are some effects and videos that are available. You can download them and use it as your background. So I have a few videos downloaded with me. I won't be downloading anymore, but you can always go through these sites. There are some free samples as well, that is free files as well, without copyright issues, which you can use. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll use what I have here. So let me just check what's the background videos. I have some files here. I'll move it to the project folder that we are working on, that is tutorials, and paste it here. Yeah. So meanwhile, if you observe, yeah. So the starting of the video is a bit.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a
So
massive
let's say
opportunity
this
for
is
each of these
the
new age
end of
technologies.
all. This is the end of this scene. Okay. So anything that is stretching out of this that only needs to be included at this part can be selected and dragged in so that no rendering processing time is waste during your playback. Okay. So I'm just fitting it in. Perfect. Done. So let me just check if the videos have been down copied. Yes, it has been. So in this case, what you can do is just let it open the files that are included in this folder. Yeah. So we have a few files, MP4 files. Yes. Good size, that is 80 MB and all. So it's always good to any element or any character that you're importing, any video that you're using in your particular video needs to be ensured that it is of good quality so that even if you're projecting it on a screen or anywhere, it does not break, it does not pixelate, right? So this is a pretty good definition, that is 720, I guess. So I've downloaded it. What I need to do is just import it to After Effects as we do for other resources. So here I have copied this. It's importing the video. It might take some time because it's a big file. Yes, it's done. And now what I can do is I'll just place it here in the composition panel. Let's say if this works or not.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media
So
alike,
now
Media
there is
alike.
the problem that it is a bit bright or dark. In any case, what you can do is if there is this issue, you can always add a new solid color. So I want to make this darker. So in that case, I'll make the background as black. Okay. I'll put this particular layer, solid layer that I've created at below this video that I've added. So in case if your video is actually too bright, what you can do is just go to this video, transform and reduce the opacity. So if you have taken a dark background, your video will start becoming a bit darker. So this looks fine according to me, right? But the blacks will be lost in that case. So let me just keep it bright for now. Otherwise, the image has some black points or black pixels, which will be merged out with the background, which does not look good, right? So far we have added this background as well. So let's see how this looks. Yes, perfect. Transitions are good so far. Now it is extending till here, which I do not want, right? So what I'll do is I'll just reduce the time by just dragging it in, somewhat like that. Done. Or actually reduce this a bit. So
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech.
health tech. India alone, health
Tech startup.
raised over 500
million in
2018. Care is getting
smarter
let me
and
say I
better
want
targeted.
to add text as well with these images. One option that I have is I can add the text within the Illustrator file so that these are grouped together well, right? And I do not have to worry about them. Or another thing that I can do is I can add the text here in After Effects and add some transitions to it, which is a better way, right? So what I can do is I'll just use text layer again, and the text here will be smarter and better targeted. Can you see the text? I cannot. So So she says what you can do is you can cross check what the problem is. Yeah. The problem is that your layer is below this scene. You can just drag it up and now you can edit the entire thing. Better targeted. Yes. Done. So now again you can see that it is a bit weird. It is behind some elements. So you can align it so that it looks complete and good. I'll just drag it here at the corner. Okay. And at this stage, what I can do is I'll add the transition to it. So
2018. Care is getting
smart
smart.
at this point, the voiceover starts talking about what the text is showing, right? So I'll add the transition at this place. How can I do that? Minimize these, go to transitions, go to preset and transition movements, not transition movements, actually go to text. It has some better animation for text here. And let's say I want to do, we have tried animating, right? So let's go for film stroke. So yeah, bigly stroke width. Let's just randomly place it to see how it looks. And
Care is getting smarter and better targeted.
it's not
Healthcare is
looking,
seen as
it's not going with the mood of the video. It's a bit funky. And so we will use something else. Let's go for 3D text. Okay, so another thing that you need to keep in mind to make any element 3D or give it the feel of three dimensions, what you can do is you have this cube right here, right? If you see, and if you map it down to any element, let's say I want to make this text that is smarter, I need to edit that, smarter and better targeted. To edit that, what I can do is to make that three dimensional, I'll just click on the box below this cube. Okay, so here is the text, smarter and better targeted. I'll click on this. So it will show a cube. What this means is this element is three dimensional. Now I can add three-dimensional text effects to it. So let's say flip in, rotate text. How does that look?
smarter and better
This
targeted.
looks
Healthcare is seen
good. So we use this effect. Before that, I need to edit mistakes, the spelling mistakes. Better targeted. Done. Okay. So yes, let's just check what all we have done.
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted.
So I need
Healthcare
to
is seen as a massive
start this text or display this text a bit earlier. So I'll just drag it out, or instead of dragging out, because I have used the effect here, if I drag it out, it will be super weird and it will look wrong. So I'll just move this timeline ahead and increase the timing by pulling it out. Okay. So let's see how this looks.
care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies.
So this was the scene so far that we wanted to display. Now there is a transition in the scene. So what we can do is we'll add new frame, or we can add new background. Let's say let's choose a background that gives a more good feeling about what the actual video content is talking about, right? Because so far we have used abstract background and a plain uh, solid layer, right? So that's a bit okay, but not very good. So to give the consumer or the viewer a good feel about what the video is all about, which is health tech, we'll try to add a bit hospitalized background, as in the inner view or the rooms in a hospital. So I might have that as well in my resources. So let me import that file. Let's say what is room hospital room background. Let me zoom in to preview what the content is. Yes, so I want to import this file. I'll import by just dragging and dropping it here in the project. So yeah, I do not want any changes here. I want it as a complete composition so that it looks good on the background. I'll just pull that here, composition done, pull it into my scene, place it here. So now let's see how this looks.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackveda Limited to build
Okay, so
end-to-end product
now
on
all you
artificial
see is
intelligence.
the black background. That is because the layering is the layers are not arranged perfectly. Just drag it above this layer. Yes, perfect. Now let's see if this is looking good.
Technologies. Join Hackveda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain,
Okay,
machine
so in
learning,
this
and
case, the background does not feel natural. So what you can do is you can move it a bit higher so that it feels like the character is walking on the ground or the floor actually, right? So let's see.
Join Hackveda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning,
So,
and
so
Internet of
far what we
Things.
have done, we have added the background. So now if you observe, the background does not actually allow the text to be brought out. It is actually blending in. So in order to fix that, what you can do is always reduce the brightness and contrast of the background so that it feels like the background. The background is never important to the context that is going on in the video. It just gives you the feel of the video. So even a slight outline or the marking of a hospital can give you that intuition that this is something related to health. So now what I can do is I will just reduce the opacity because we have black in the background. It might get a bit darker, and because my text is yellow, it will be shown perfectly. So I'll reduce. Yeah. So this looks fine because my background is visible and the text in the front is also visible.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackveda Limited to build end-to-end
So
product on artificial intelligence.
here some information needs to be displayed. So when you're talking about join Hackveda, you can simply write Hackveda because that is what you want to tell your consumers or tell your viewers about, right? Join Hackveda, it is good, but that is already in your voiceover. So only the visual cue that you need to give here is a text that says Hackveda Limited, right? So click on new, go to text, add a text layer, and this will say Hackveda. Undo what I did. Yes. And your redo key is Control Shift and Z. So let me add limited here as well. Perfect. Now this needs to be placed somewhere that does not interrupt or abrupt the flow of the video, right? So let me just drag it in at the top, somewhere here. Not the perfect solution, but yes, for now it works. You understand how you can move these elements around. So let's say I put the text, but again, I want some transitions or transforms here. What I can do is I will first of all time it so that it comes in at the right time. Go to text animations that are available here, and let's make it 3D now and solve position. I'll drag it in, place it here. Let's see or preview what this looks.
Join Hackveda Limited to build end-to
it looks good, but the complete transition is not that good of a feel. So in this case, what I can do is again apply a transform for opacity, right? So at this stage, I want the opacity to be 100. So opacity 100, and at this stage, that is when it starts the transform particular stage, I want my opacity to be least, that is 0. That's it. So what I'll do is I'll check this, make the opacity down to 0. So now let's see how this looks.
Age technologies. Join Hackweather Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine
So now
learning,
you can
and
see
Internet
that
of Things.
he's talking about some of the languages or some of the technologies here. So in that case, what we can do is we'll actually show them a visual representation instead of actually just printing out the text. Text does not give you that feel. Okay, so to make it look prettier, what you can do is use some effects that you have, resources, and I have saved them here. So the first technology he's talking about is artificial intelligence. Let me just drag and drop it here in my projects panel. Similarly, others as well. So you might take some time collecting these resources, but it's always good to spend some time looking for the right resource that you need. Otherwise, the entire video will be a collaboration or collage of unrelated things. Because the file is already importing, I'll click on OK. Add the next thing in. Okay, and last we have big data. Done. So we have imported all the resources that we needed for now. Now let's use them in the video. So what you can do is, now let's say,
Join Hackweather Limited to build end-to-end
yeah. So this is where he
product
talks about
on
artificial
artificial intelligence.
intelligence. So I know the timing. So what I can do is, I'll just drag the file from the project panel to the composition. So artificial intelligence is named as AI. So here is my AI composition. I'll place it somewhere here at the top, let's say. For now, yeah. If there is any further changes that we need to do, we can make it. So artificial intelligence, big data.
Intelligence, big
Big
data,
data is BD here. Time it perfectly.
blockchain,
Blockchain is BC.
machine learning,
is ML.
and Internet.
Is the last. So we'll add that as well. Perfect. So at this stage, what we have done is we have perfectly timed when any elements should be displayed. But the problem is we have not positioned it yet. So what we can do is we'll just start off from here. We have,
Product on
so I'll
artificial
drag it in a bit.
end-to-end product on
At
artificial
this stage, the element should be at its final resting position, right? So what I can do is I'll go here, go to transform, select position. Position I want it to be somewhere here. Okay. So this is the position, but initially, let's say it is sliding in from outside. So at this stage, so I'll make the position outside. So this will come in from somewhere here. Let's say, let's see how this looks.
product on artificial intelligence, big data,
Big data is a bit small
intelligence, big
somewhere here. So let's, another thing that I can do is, yeah, let me just not copy paste it. I'll just repeat it so that it's clear for you at least. Yeah. We'll go to transitions, position, again, yeah. So this will be the position for big data, let's say. And what I want to do is at this position, the big data will come in from somewhere here.
end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain,
So blockchain is kind of timed perfectly, but I'll make some changes here and there. So machine learning, transform, position,
blockchain,
blockchain somewhere here. This should be the position. Blockchain, the initial starting position for this. Let me pull it a bit in so that we can zoom in a bit here so that we can see it on screen, and then we can, let's say this comes from somewhere here or a bit lower actually, somewhere from here. So let's see how does it look.
on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning,
So machine learning, let's
intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine data, blockchain, product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, data, blockchain, machine
learning. Let's do the same transform for machine learning as well. Position and position.
machine learning and
So for machine learning, my ending point where it needs to be is somewhere here. And the starting point will be somewhere here. Okay, so let me pull it a bit closer.
machine learning and internet of
So Internet of Things here.
learning and internet
So Internet of Things starting from, let me put the same transition here as well. Position
and internet of
and position. Okay. Let me change this to here, somewhere here, skirt, and let me drag it bit outwards. So this is another starting position that I need to place it. So if you observe, it's not visible. Yes, let me pull it a bit in. Let's say it starts from here at this point and minimize this. So let's see the entire transitions so far.
on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning and internet of things. Upcoming batch from third
Okay, so let's say we are satisfied with this. Now let me just play it from the starting. Only a few more seconds have needs to be animated so far.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500. In venture
Let me
capital
just
pitch rooms and mass
increase the quality and let's check it out once.
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass
Media alike, there is a growing buzz around
Health tech. In India alone,
tech startups
over 500 million.
million in 2008.
and better targeted.
Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackway Limited to build end-to-end
Product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hakweda Noida, Rohini, and
So-
online.
Let me just play it back.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda
let me
Limited to
check if the voice problem is because of, yes, the frame rate needs to be 25. So now it will work perfectly, I guess. The sound and all.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India, health tech startups raised over
500
So in this case, what I need to do is I need to go to check. Here's the check file. Yes, here it is. So let me just go on selection tool, go to GIF. And what I need to do is I need to make sure that it looks like it comes from somewhere. And it's not up.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better.
targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch
this
from 3rd
information
August
that
to
is
20.
upcoming batch is separate. So this needs to
Upcoming
be a
batch.
separate topic or slide or scene that you need to discuss these topics or these points on. So you can end all of these here. Or what you can do is you can add actually a solid layer here above it. Mm, add something neutral, right? Something like so this will be a layer here. So you need to start it from here. So in this case, instead of pulling it in that we are been doing, what I'll do is I'll increase the opacity a bit to 100. Okay, so in this case, Let me start with yeah. And at this stage, the opacity will be zero. Let's see how this looks like.
Blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of
So
Things.
now
Upcoming
the entire block is the text that you have here. Upcoming batch from this and this. So again, one thing that you need to keep in mind is in After Effects, now your character has gone invisible. So in this case, you need to keep him on top of this layer. So let's see.
machine learning and Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Upcoming
So
batch
from here, this text needs to be shown. That is upcoming batch from 3rd August, 25th August on weekends from 11 at 3 Noida, Rohini, and online. So copy this entire thing, go create a new text layer, paste it down there. Now again on weekends, you can ensure that each of these details that need to be separate are on different lines. So I'll change the font color, select all, make it a bit darker. Okay. And yeah, this looks better. I'll just, instead of dragging it, I'll simply use a line here on the right hand side, if you can see. So a line and to the center, vertically and horizontally. Now, if you observe, this is on the character. So now I need to resize it. How do I do that? Just pinch it in, shift to keep the ratios. So this looks good. I can place it somewhere here. So this is again multi-line. So I'll add some effects to it. So at this stage, what I do is go to some effects that I have. Go down here, text, just remove that, animate in, and you have, okay, instead of animate in, if you go to text, you might see multi-line. Yes, here we have multi-line as well. So in this case, what you can do is, let's drag in something interesting.
Internet of Things. Upcoming
Mm, let's try this. Am I dialing it to the right one? No, the layer that I'm using is the wrong one. So I need to go to this layer, go in here, set the text time when it starts. Let's see some data packets here.
Things.
Use
Upcoming batch from
your message. Let's try this.
Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August.
Let me just see how this looks.
Internet of Things.
So in this case,
Upcoming
what I can do is, I know the effect starts in from here. So as this stage, what I can do is I'll minimize the opacity so that it does not look bad, and gradually increase the opacity at this point somewhere here when it's completely blue, right? So that it has a background to fall on. So let's see how this looks.
data, blockchain, machine learning,
and
Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to
So upcoming batch will start somewhere from here. Let's see.
Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11.
So this needs to be slowed down. So for that, what I do, I'll go to text, I'll check where both of these pointers are. Now I can see them. I need to expand it more so that I see these diamonds. I'll select both of them, place somewhere here. Let's see how this works.
Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hagweda
Advantages that there will be more time for the viewer to read the text, which is very crucial. So
upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hagweda Noida, Rohini and online.
And now after this, anything that exceeds this point need not be shown. And after this slide, I need the final slide that shows this detail. Okay, so I'll copy it. So now what I'll do, I'll just remove this, which does not need to be here.
Of things. Machine learning and internet.
So now while you're working, you can put it on quarter. No need to push your machine unnecessarily.
And Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hagweda Noida, Rohini and online.
You need this till here and all of these at the same point. So what you can do is you can just zoom in so that you align it perfectly. So all of them needs to be here. This is audio, okay, no problem. Let's see how this looks.
Online.
So health tech need not be available here as well. So I'll zoom it in, place it perfectly here, and zoom it out. Health tech, place it perfectly. Yes. Install is done, and now I need to add another text. That is what I want to display here. So I'll paste it. So we have pasted the text here and show. So in this case, you do not need any transition because this needs to be or that scene or that particular part of your video where you need to give the line of action, right? What the customer or the viewer needs to do after watching your video, right? So I'll select that and align it. I don't think it's perfectly aligned. I'll align it to the center. Perfect. So now let's see the entire video.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media
alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million.
So give it some time to pre-render.
It's getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product
on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hackweda Noida, Rohini, and online.
So give it some 5 seconds. So what I can do is I have 50 seconds. So this is extra time. So I need to change the time for compositions. I'll go compositions, settings, and then I can change the time instead of 51 to 45 seconds and click on OK. So now this will look good.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hackweda Noida, Rohini, and online.
Okay. So let's
In
say
venture
you
capital
have
pitch
completed editing your video, everything has been done. And another thing that you need to do is if you're particularly creating any video for Hackweather, you have to take care to add the logo of Hackweather. So let me look for it in some other resources. Hackweather logo, let me just drag it in. Okay, so you have dragged it in. What you need to do is place it above all the other layers and it should be throughout the video. So you can place it at the corner right here, somewhere here. Okay. And now,
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hackweda Noida, Rohini, and online.
right? So let's say you have completed editing the video and all the changes, effects that you want to add. Now to how to export the video. So you go to File, go to Export and Add to Render Queue. Okay. Click on Add to Render Queue. Once that is done, now you will observe automatically this has been added to your render queue. And now what you need to do is you have an option output to, you select here. This is basically to check or put a path and a file name for the exported video, right? So the exported video will be in AAC format. So I guess laptop is lagging a bit, but we have almost done the part. Yes. So now just select the folder that is exports. And if you observe, your format will be .avi and you can name it AE export. and save it here. So once you have selected the location and the name, whatever needs to be done, that was auto save, but you can always click on Control S to save the project before you are rendering. And once you have done that, you click on render. So once you have started rendering, this might take some time, but just wait for the render to complete. Do not interrupt. So meanwhile, any file that you export from After Effects will be a huge file. Not that huge, but comparatively, yeah. If your purpose is to export this video, use it for promotion and all, for social media and all, this file is not suitable. So what you need to do is once you export this file, you get the exported file that is .avi. This file needs to be converted to a format that is suitable for your purpose, be it marketing, be it presentation or anything like. So for that, what you need to do is you need to have this software that is known as Handbrake. This is the particular software that I use for compressing the video without actually losing any quality, without compromising the quality of the video. So let me just show you the application. Where do I have that? So this is the name of the application, Handbrake. Let me just show you how you can download this application. This is again free of cost. You do not have to pay for this software. So Handbrake, download. And also you can add music to your video by just downloading a video audio that you have, any mp3 music that you have, you can add it and make changes to it. Okay, so we have Handbrake now. Let it just load. I guess the system is getting a bit slower, it's lagging because of render that's going on. So let's just patiently wait for this to complete once and then we can carry on. So while I was telling you about audio, so another option that you have here is, let me just show you if it's possible. No, let it just render. Then I'll show you another thing that you can do with audio files. So for example, if you are mixing audios, you have voiceover as well as a background music, right? So in that case, what you can do is you can go to the audio panel that I'll show you, which is on the right hand side. So you can go to that and adjust the volume for that and make transitions as well, amplifications and all that. So I'll show you as soon as the render is done. So that sound is basically a clue that your video has been rendered. So now let's say you have this audio file. Let me just turn on the audio file here. This is the audio file, right? So when you select the audio file and go up here, you will see, let me just move this for now. So let me move animation presets, and now you can see audio here. So if you click on audio, you have a few options. Okay, not here, not here. You need to go here. That is audio in this section. Now you can increase the audio.
Batch from 3rd August to 25th August
But
August
it will start
2009.
tracking, but you can always adjust the volume of your voiceover as well as the music that you plan to put in. Okay. So the render has been completed. Let me check the exported file if it's present there or not. So here is my exports, and yeah, there is a AVI file. So this AVI file is too heavy. Right now, this is what 6.52 GB. This cannot be used anywhere to this video actually cannot be used directly. You need to convert it to a suitable format. So that is why we are using Handbrake. So let me show you how to use Handbrake. Also the website. So you go Handbrake download, and you have the first link that comes in. This is Handbrake downloadable software. Okay, so that is all that you need to understand about this. And now if you need to change the format, what you can do is just drag and drop the file here, right? So this is importing the file right now. Yes, might take some time because it's a heavy file, right? So you need to be patient to or get a faster system. Either works. So once this will be imported, yeah. So now as you can see, the file that you have exported from EE has been put in Handbrake, and the preview is here, all the 10 preview slides here. And now what you need to ensure is that first of all, you need to understand what kind of format that you need to use this footage for either purpose of marketing or whatever. So if you need to use it for social media and promotion and all that, it's better that you keep it in MP4 so that it's lightweight and the quality is not compromised there. So here you go to format, go to MP4. You can select fast 1080p with 30 frames per second. This is what that means. And save as. Now within the save as, you can click on browse. Now browse will allow you to actually give the final location where this format changed or converted file needs to be saved. So here is the dialog box. And let me just open my folder here. This is exports. I'll save it in exports. And let me just say this is compressed video and save. Now, once you have clicked on save, what happens is it addresses or it gives you the path where it needs to store the converted file. And after that, you click on start encode. So once you click on start encode, your conversion starts and you can see the progress on the left hand side bottom, that is encoding past 1 of 1 and the percentage, the progress. So let it convert. It might take some time. So I guess this is taking a bit long. So once I have saved the changes in my After Effects, I'll just close it so that other processes work at the correct pace. It's almost complete, 90%. So rendering videos takes a lot of time. So that is why we were actually smartly placing these elements so that where it is not necessary, instead of making it invisible, that is reducing the opacity, just eliminate it. Restrict it to the part where it needs to be in the video, right? So yeah, the queue has finished and now your converted file has been saved to the location where you marked it. So in exports, we'll check. So now we have a MP4 file here. So let's view this. I'll close all the unnecessary software that are running around here so that we get some performance here. So the video is loading right now.
In venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and
Just start
in, ven-
and
in venture cap-
start from here.
in venture capital pitch rooms and mass media alike, there is a growing buzz around health tech. In India alone, health tech startups raised over 500 million in 2018. Care is getting smarter and better targeted. Healthcare is seen as a massive opportunity for each of these new age technologies. Join Hackweda Limited to build end-to-end product on artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Upcoming batch from 3rd August to 25th August 2019 on weekends from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Hackweda Noida, Rohini, and online.
Okay. So what you have done so far is you have exported the video from After Effects, and that was a huge file that is 6.52 GB. So using the Handbrake software, you can compress that video into merely 3 MB, 3.79 MB, right? So now this video file can be used wherever you want, right? So I guess that covers up the entire process starting from recording the video. So before you record the video, you need to have a script. You record the voiceover. After you have recorded the voiceover, if there needs to be any conversion in the audio file, you convert it using any video converter and export the wave file, sorry, import the wave file to Audacity. Audacity is the software that you use to enhance your audio or voiceover so that there are no disturbances. And if you need to merge these audio files, you can do that as well. After that, what you need to do is you need to keep the original track as well so that you have the original as well as the enhanced audio. Then you create a character, design a character on Illustrator with specific layers as the template is given in character animate, because this character at the end we need to animate this character using character animator. So if it does not match, there is no point creating the character. So once you have created the character, you can import it to character animator by just dragging and dropping the AI file. Then you need to rig the character with all the points, with all the tags in the body, the face, and all everything. You need to add triggers, you need to add behaviors, you need to add layer cycles, and everything that you want this character to do on screen. Now, while recording, you can specifically select what all functions or what are features that you want to record for a particular character. Let's say you do not want, you have to compute, first of all, the lip sync, right? So to compute the lip sync, you can simply go to timeline, compute lip sync option that is available with the software. And then the lip sync is automatically generated based on phonemes and the sound recording audio. So that is why the quality of the audio is very necessary, that it's good. Next thing that you do is you record each of the parts of the character, let's say hand first, then the head, then let's say you want the character to walk. If you want to make the character walk, you need to add behavior walk, right? So in that also there is a bit precision that you need for rigging, which comes with time. So in the particular example that you gave, that we tried, there was a big problem at the beginning while the character was not rigged. As soon as we started rigging the character, the problems got reduced, and once the problems were gone, once the character looked perfect, we ended the rigging, we got back to recording, recorded the character, we exported the character, the entire animation of the character in PNG sequence, imported that PNG sequence in After Effects. All the elements that we needed in After Effects was imported or created on either Illustrator or on After Effects itself. For example, the text can be automatically added. And then we talked about presets. Presets are available on your right hand side, and any changes that you need to make to the text is also available. Character, again, you have align, you have paragraph, you have a lot of options that is available on After Effects, which we have implemented here. And once you have put everything together, again, I gave you the reference. If you want a good reference that which colors work best with each other, you can go to Color CC available on Adobe. And if you want free resources for vector files, you can go to Freepik or Shutterstock and all these websites that provide you the vector images. Okay. Then once you have created your composition, once you have animated the entire thing, what you can do is you can get back to files, then export, and you export it in to render queue, right? Once you have reached the render queue, you go to output, you select the location, the file name, click on render, let the software render your video, give out AVI file, which is super huge, which cannot be used anywhere, but is of good quality. Now, this AVI file that you have in hand needs to be converted to a format and a size, file size, which can be easily shared. So this, for our particular purposes in Hackweather, we use MP4 file, and depending on what all elements you are using in your video, the file size may vary, but it should not exceed more than 5 or 7 MBs at the final. And once you have the entire video converted, you are good to go, you can use it. So that's the entire process of creating a video. So we'll end the session. Thank you guys, it was pleasure sharing this knowledge with you.